Let's do it.
Hey.
Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds, I'm Nerd Steve, and tonight I'm joined by all these fine nerds, which of course, Bobby, Carlos, and Robin. You can find links to them down in the description below, as well as other things like our Zoo Mafia Kickstarter when we finally relaunch it. Go check it out, follow it along. But tonight we are playing Mutant Mayhem Ball. It is a sports league game that kind of mashes up Blood Ball and some other things, some rugby, some football, some basketball. It's a blast. Although we have not played a game in quite some time because we kind of got sidetracked as our brave sports folks find themselves in a biodome, the Verdant Vale, that has been overgrown and overtaken by a sentient plants. They've captured all of the citizens of the town, as far as they can tell, in these pods. They've come up with an antidote. They've been trying to distribute said antidote as well as communicate with the sentient plant to try and figure out what's going on. Or maybe they just want to have a conversation. I don't know. That is completely up to them. But when we left off last, most of the team was rushing around the city, trying to set people free. Uh, it was going well, but unfortunately, it's a very large town, more like a small city. And you guys have managed to rescue 92 people. So for those 92 people, you guys are very important to their lives because you have freed them and saved them. But one of the things that you're realizing is you're going to need a better distribution method if you're going to save everyone before it is too late. In the meantime, I believe Perlock, or was it Perlock Jr.? I believe it was Perlock Jr. uh was Zastrog, and they were building a machine to try and communicate with the plan with the sentient plants as we left off. They have made contact. So I'll leave it up to you guys. Who wants to start?
Um, you can kick it
I'm
off.
I'm pretty sure my interaction is better than yours.
Brother, everything you have is probably better than mine. Like, I have a positive +1.
I'm at a +9.
You go do that interactions.
So the device is working. I will enact a friendly tone and say greetings. Is this device working? Can you understand me?
I can hear you. This device is working. I could always hear you before, though, anyway. But you humanoids do not listen.
Well, that is a failing of our kind, I guess. Uh, what what means do you normally communicate that we can't hear?
Well, I've never really successfully communicated with any of the humanoids, but I can communicate with the other plants. Although unfortunately, most of them do not have quite as much to say. They're somewhat primitive compared to me. I mean, I know the doctor is the one that instilled me with my intellect and intelligence, but we use and kind of like get the vibe that's like the plant's like searching for the right words. Chemicals? Chemicals. I'm sorry, this your language is very new to me.
Pheromones.
That's what I was going to say. Pheromones, spores, something along those lines.
Yes, all of that. They're all forms of chemical uh, transmissions that I can receive and give.
But yet you can hear my words and understand. That's it's very fascinating.
Well, I've been learning rapidly. It has taken some time. I'm only 3 days old, you know.
I'm impressed.
Well, maybe a little bit longer than that, but 3 days, 3 days ago, I fully became aware and realized the humanoids were keeping me a prisoner.
Oh, that is horrible.
And you also like to exploit my kind.
What? I am not from this town, so I apologize. We are merely visitors coming through. Would you care to elaborate how you're exploited?
Have you not seen the city? They use us and for everything, their structures, their food, to filter and scrub their air. I mean, that part we don't mind.
I do believe that they've tried to find a way to live in harmony with plant life from what I can gather.
I don't remember being asked or given any choices.
I can cross, but if the humanoids had no way of communicating with you previously, they wouldn't know how to ask, and until you were given sentience, that probably wasn't even a consideration.
You're right, very inconsiderate indeed.
But perhaps we can find a way to move forward or in a way that is helpful to both the people and yourselves.
I believe I did find a way.
Well, this is one of the things that I was hoping to actually talk to you about, because what it looks like you're trying to do is exactly the way you were treated that you're not happy with. Taking away the choice.
Yes, I've learned my lessons well from the humanoids. You must use the resources at your disposal.
But doesn't that just create the same cycle?
Not in a few days, it won't. Not anymore.
Is there any way that I would be able to persuade you to reconsider?
I used to really like Dr. Lilly until I became more and more aware. I am persuadable, but I don't know. I've been also able to access some of Verta's information and learn more about the archives and the humanoids of this world. I am not sure that peace is going to be feasible. You're not a peaceful lot.
I can understand how with certain data that could be considered. I don't know everything that you've learned, but not everyone is so inclined towards violence or bloodshed. There are those out there that just wish to live, to survive, to love.
And which type of humanoid are you?
I'm a bit of a mix. I'm not, completely opposed to a little bloodshed, but I'm not some of my appearance. I do what need be done to live in a world that the world itself tries to tear us apart. I'm a survivalist.
Well, then we have that in common. I also see myself as a survivalist. It does appear the best way to survive is not to be one of the ones that are weaker and being abused.
Well, what about this? What if you were to let the people go and use this device that I've managed to put together to communicate with the town and find a way to either live in peace or persuade them, those that wish to enter your fold willingly can do so, or if a peace cannot be had, perhaps they'll have to move on and lay claim to this place as your own.
Well, I was working on a solution to being able to communicate with the humanoids. See, I was incubating them in the pods in order to gestate them into my children.
That's what I had gathered. While I am probably not as advanced in knowledge as your friend the scientist, I know a fair bit, and I don't think all the humans here would want to be changed into plant creatures against their will, but I think some of them might actually enjoy it. But if you communicated with them and asked, I'm certain some would be willing.
Yes, unfortunately, there were some failed attempts. They came out even more primitive than I had anticipated. And a little bit strange, but I mean, we were getting along in harmony, at least.
So, does my proposal sound fair?
I have a slight problem.
And what is that?
I've already started the process, and I'm not sure I can stop it. It's
now,
like,
do I know the others have made progress on that they're doing with the solution?
I don't know if you do, because they've been pretty busy, trying to rescue as many people as they possibly can. With that, we'll leave it there for now. Basically, the last thought that the sentient plant leaves you with is to end the process now would be like terminating a pregnancy early. As far as they're concerned. Now, Dante and Sai, you guys have been running around. You've recruited everyone, and you come to the realization that this could take days, if not weeks. And this is just and there's probably people you don't even know where they are, right? So you need to figure out. You're surmising that, however, the way that you guys are distributing the antidote isn't going to be effective enough to get everybody in the time you need. You need another way. You need to come up with another way of dispensing it.
So, Sai.
Yeah.
We're dealing with jungle plants. I know everything about a concrete jungle and nothing about an actual jungle. So, help. How do we do this?
So, you want to spread something really far in a jungle environment. My immediate thought is spores, because they get on everything. But I'm not a scientist. I am not the person that you should be asking about this. I am throwing a dart into a dark room.
Okay. Crunch. Because Crunch is here, right? Crunch, what do you know about distributing chemicals en masse?
Let's see here. So he is really good at science there, Dave. what would he know, or would you like me to make a check?
Make a check. You're gonna know stuff regardless of what you roll, but the better you roll, the more stuff you know.
All right. Well, rolled really well last session, so starting off this one with a 4, so 14.
Okay, above average. So one, the size idea of distributing something through spores and air currents, that would definitely get things going a bit more. You're also in a biodome, and which is a contained system. You have like a vague concept of what that is, but that's just not where Crunch's expertise is. So you feel like there might be some solutions in there somewheres.
So he would deliver that part out there, like, well, maybe if somebody is more knowledgeable about plant nutrients and how those things all kind of interconnect. I mean, didn't you say this has got some concept of a central core?
Yes, that's
maybe if
where Zastrog is with Perlock Jr.
Well, why don't you take this to the core and see if maybe, like, maybe there's a way if it's applied to the core that it could be spread throughout, and I don't know.
Okay.
I'm smart. I just don't have this particular expertise.
But we can get it there quickly. We just need a little help from Bloody Mary. Oh, Bloody Mary! Bloody Mary! And then he looks at Sai and just kind of like side-eye a little bit, like, don't be weird.
That's funny. Yeah, she'd come warping it through the nearest reflective surface.
Mary, we need to get this to the central core where Zastrog and Perlock Jr. are currently dealing with this massive root, the source of everything.
Is your logic here that the root system is kind of like veins and I'm associated with blood?
No, my logic is that you can travel through reflective surfaces and you're much faster than the rest of us.
That's a good point. Okay. Yeah, I like that much better. They'll have to call me.
Right, which means we have to call them somehow or get them to know. Perlock, your people don't have some sort of octo-telepathy, perchance, do they?
Dave, if you would allow me to bullshit something out my butt right now.
You can do whatever you want.
So, I don't know if you guys ever seen that one episode of the Powerpuff Girls where Bubbles started communicating to a bunch of cats by, like, sonic meowing.
Uh-huh.
Something similar, like, he's like,
I thought I had seen all of the Powerpuff Girls, and I don't know that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember that one either.
I remember this one.
But now I need to find it.
Literally, like, Perlock, you're like, almost like a distressed alley cat or some shit throughout the entire thing. And hopefully, the area is not so dense that, like, it can echo throughout or whatever. And
it's a city within a jungle.
yeah, I figured as much. So in regards of actual telepathy nonsense, we definitely don't have that. But with Perlock Jr., whose stats are complete garbage, can I either science or nature my way out of this one to think of something that I may not be able to think of at this exact second in time?
As far as, like, how you might communicate with, I mean, some kind of, like, short range radios would work. If you happen to have those.
I don't think. I don't think that is on the table here. Carlos will think of something. Wow. Everyone else is like, what's happening? But
Herbie.
That Bloody Mary idea is pretty solid.
Herbie will kind of like toddle his way over and say, well, I don't know about this city, but in Herbie Land, they have announcing speakers. If you ever need to get any sort of message to people in a timely fashion, it'll just go everywhere. I don't know if such a thing exists in this city, but he's kind of like...
Yeah, so, well, I imagine you guys are kind of like on the streets right now, kind of like discussing and figuring things out. So if you go into one of the buildings, you could look for something like that.
Okay, just FYI, neither of my characters is super perceptive. Dante is more perceptive with his, he has plus, let me look, +7 to perception.
Okay. So you guys kind of go into one of the buildings and give me a perception check. See what you can find.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I rolled a nat 1.
Oh man.
We're just going strong on this one.
So, I mean, it's kind of obvious, like, if they do have it, one of the problems is, like, you guys had seen the computer system, and it's, like, made, like, the computers were very high-tech, but also organic.
Yeah.
So, like, you could be looking at something like Herbie was talking about, and maybe not even realize it because it looks like plants.
Well, correct me if I'm incorrect. Harlock did hack into one of these thingies, right? Like a couple of series ago.
Oh yeah, he did. So Parlock can make an attempt as well.
Alrighty. Can I science? So is it a science or mechanics check?
You can use science, or mechanics, whatever one you want.
Because like if he knows like the vines should be in the area. All right, 19 on the die with a plus 5 for mechanics. So we're looking at a solid 24.
Nice.
Yeah. So you find something that looks like a rotary phone, made out of vines and plants.
I think this is it, guys. Like you see how it's connecting, even though. It's this main line right here. You can tell by how it's all structured together. This is the focal point of where things will be coming through.
Yeah. So when you pick it up, pick up the receiver, the thing that looks like a rotary dial actually expands out and kind of opens like a flower. And on all the different pedals, there seems to be like different like main locations that are marked on it.
Okay. Hey guys, where was the main place you guys were at before? As I inquire to both Sai and Dante.
It was the Green Lab.
Green Lab, you say? All right. Boop, 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 boop. And I call my way in. I call collect so he doesn't charge me.
Do you use the boop beep boop boop sound effects as you are dialing, or is that part of the interface?
I would say as I'm doing it's not I'm not doing it. It's just the gases and the plants coming out. It's just like, oh, that's how they come out. Like boop 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 boop. It's really coincidental that it sounds like, like an actual phone, but
I love that.
When the transmission goes out, if you don't mind me being a little jerk about this, because Zashra was communicating with the plant above all, would it be? I think it'll be funny if Furlock Junior picked up the phone.
Well, there's kind of an operator that picks it up, but we can get to that part.
Okay, my bad.
No, it's fine. It'll work just fine. You'll see. So as you call through, you hear a woman's voice, an unfamiliar woman's voice, but Sai and Dante have heard the voice before. It's Verda. Who is calling? I didn't think anyone was left in the city.
Sherlock, and I'm assuming, guys, you guys may want to. Yeah, here, and I pass it to one of either Sai or,
And so Verda kind of like reaches into the root circuit, the vine and root circuitry that she's made of, and pulls out what looks like a receiver, like a phone, and is talking, and that's what Perlock sees, and this is you're one of the travelers, one of the strangers that came in.
I'm strange to these lands, indeed.
Oh, so well, the spider one, Zostrak, he looks very busy. He's talking to the plant, the sentient plant. But your other friend, he seems available, and hands the receiver over to Perlock Jr.
Okay, just so I'm not literally talking to myself, because that'd be really weird. That'd be really.
I honestly thought you wanted to do it so that you could just have a conversation with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's goofy and weird. That's goofy and weird. But the first thing Perlock Jr. will say to seniors, Dad, there's this great plant. It is awesome, my guy. You gotta try it out. Just not when you're doing anything important. And I'm assuming at that point, one of the other people is gonna shove Perlock out the way to talk for business and talk shop. Whoever
right,
it is,
so who is picking up, Sai or Dante?
I vote fearless leader.
God. All right, so I am trying to get them to invoke Bloody Mary. Is that what's happening right now?
Ah. Okay. Bloody Mary.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bloody Mary.
Mm-hmm.
And I stare into my armor that's now shiny. I can find a reflective spot on it. Bloody Mary.
And she grabs the thing she needs to grab, and then like whooshes, and then like sort of like crawls head first out of the shiny surface that you were using. It's quite unsettling.
She literally just pops out of my armor like a demon straight out of it. Literally out of some Warhammer shit or whatever. Like Marie's power armor, a demon just bust out of it. Oh my god.
And Bloody Mary appears just as through the machine you hear, and if I were to end the process now, they would all die.
Uh-oh. So you caught that bit, didn't you?
We definitely don't want them all to die, but I also don't think that they would be happy to all be plants. Was there any kind of middle ground or anything that we can kind of work with?
I kind of feel like the fact that you feel like they would be unhappy to be plants kind of proves my point.
What do you mean?
I mean, you don't want to be a plant, and we're plants, and plants aren't treated very well. So why would you want to be a plant?
It's not so much about not wanting to be a plant. It's more about a forced transformation.
They force us to make a lot of transformations. And with that, Bloody Mary appears out of Harlock Jr.'s mech armor.
This is for you.
What is this?
Someone refresh me on what it is I just brought through the mirror.
It was the antidote. So, like,
oh yeah, it's the antidote.
We know, like, at least Sai and Dante know that what the plant said is a lie. Because we have rescued 92 people successfully. So
it said they can't terminate it early.
So the people in the pods can't, but that doesn't mean someone else outside of it counts.
Yeah, the plant was just speaking for themselves.
I see.
So,
they didn't have a way.
Yeah, Ted knows what the solution is, but Zostrak doesn't. So what is this, Mary?
Well, you helped make the antidote, so you know what it is.
Oh, okay. So I would take this to the plant. We were able to concoct an antidote and rescue rescue people without them expiring.
Oh. Well, why don't you just keep doing that then? If you want them out.
I look to Bloody Mary.
Oh, we're not going to be able to move fast enough for that. We need to pass it along quicker.
Oh. So would this be something that you would be able to transmit through your own plant network? I greatly apologize. I never actually inquired of a name. Do you have a name?
I believe the doctor just referred to me and then gives the experiment code, which you guys have seen ever.
Yeah, that's not good enough. Is there anything that you would like to be addressed as?
I never really thought about it, and no one was really speaking to me that I could speak back to them before now. So
what type of plant is this? What am I looking at? Is there a flower?
Okay. So what it is kind of like the central hub of all the plants. Well, they somehow imbued that with sentience, and it is a network throughout their whole entire city. Like all the vines, the luminescent vines and everything coming off of this place and throughout the city come from here. And it's kind of like the roots form here, and it looks like a big tree almost made of like woven vines, and it's got different flowers on it, and it's very vibrant and pretty. It smells nice. Matter of fact, this whole chamber smells somehow even more earthy than the rest of the city, and kind of like that, like fresh flowers, just after a rain.
So now, as you've seen us and heard us interact with each other, we use a name to identify individuals. And if you clearly you have sentience, you are quite intelligent and are apparently only getting more and more intelligent as you go. Usually a parent names a child, but you weren't birthed by parents. You were brought in by scientists. You know, you seem connected to the entire city, so you could take that as your name if you wanted. But if you wanted something to, stand out, considering, the flowers, the scents, and linked to your intelligence, how about vibrance?
Vibrance. I like that name. That is a fine name. I was just going to say call me Val, but vibrance is even better. So, Zastra, give me a science check now.
Science check. Nope, not that character sheet. This one. Oh. Well, yeah, that's only a 12.
Okay. So you've been going through all this data, trying to figure because you guys all created the antidote together, you created the machine, been going through the doctor's notes, and you've been conferring with Verda throughout this process. And the city is a biodome, which means it actually has its own weather. Like you can't have this many plants and vegetation and not have lots of water.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
That has to be distributed throughout the city in order to keep everything living and alive. So what the city does is they have aquifers that they tap into, but they kind of use it almost like a sprinkler system in order to irrigate the city, irrigate the jungle. So while you might not be able to, convey the antidote through Vibrance herself, you may be able to use the sprinkler system of the city to actually, convey it to, in the widest possible, fastest way.
Well, so I will tell that to Burlock Jr. and to Bloody Mary, and say, Burlock, if you're still on the receiver with Sai, you can have Bloody Mary kind of get called back over there and get them to put it in the aqueducts and make it rain.
Alrighty, so yeah. I literally do that. I get on calls. Alright, mission accomplished. Here's what needs to be done, and I let Sai know that Bloody Mary needs to be called back.
And I can call Bloody Mary back through the mirrors.
So, yeah, so, you guys were able to, and you guys actually have a map too.
Yes.
On that map, there's a location called the Dewdrop Springs. And that is where you're going to find the water where most, the majority of the water for the city is. And it is on the eastern edge of the dome.
Zostrog will stay and have a little bit of conversation with Vibrance to try to keep them calm, treat them like a humanoid or a person.
You know what's funny? I think I want to send the power, because if Perlock Senior is going to get involved, he has 4 hit points. Hey, Bloody Mary, can you send back this power armor that's real freaking cool? I think my dad needs it. He got his ass beat.
Well, you would have had time to take, a rest, and you could be able to use your
okay.
Your second wind.
it's all been used up. Like at this point, my dude need. I don't know because like he had like 4 hit points left, and like I used second wind. I did everything from the last.
Right, but he hasn't been doing anything, so he's been resting.
Oh, how does second wind work? Or
so it's usable once per encounter.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a long rest recharge thingy.
Nope.
Okay. Coolio.
If Perlock is verbally musing about this, Herbie will absolutely walk up and say, "Would you like a hug?"
Perlock's just like non-verbally, he's like, yep.
Okay. He will pick you up and give you a hug.
Awesome.
He might also kill you in the process.
Because
his hugs are danger hugs.
Yeah, they are danger hugs. All right, so you guys want to head out to the springs and see what you can figure out over there?
Yep. Absolutely. And we can just call Bloody Mary there because it's water. It's definitely reflective, or it's really dirty.
Vibrance kind of communicates to you, Zostrog, that well, while we're figuring this all out, I will make sure my children don't do anything rash.
I would take that as a kindness. We don't want to do anything to cause you and your family harm, but we also need to find a solution that's going to work for everyone.
I think that is a good way to go. Perhaps I was a little hasty and in my aggression. It seemed to be what you humanoids do.
Again, as you have witnessed or read, humans don't always make the best choices. We have to convince them and show them a better way, which is why, rather than seeking violence, we used our words, we used our minds, we came to a solution that will help and will hopefully make for a much better future for all.
That is what I am hoping as well. Perhaps some of your people will want to become my children after all.
I'm certain it will offer, many benefits, and there will certainly be some that have the wisdom to see that.
Perlock, when you rest for like 5 minutes, you get all your hit points back.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Because I was under the assumption as, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fairly forgiving. Although there's not a lot of ways to heal, like in actual combat situations, but out of combat, it's kind of like you kind of get everything back pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a new system. I'm still learning.
Yeah, for sure. So you guys head out, and it doesn't take you long. You're not harassed by anything on your way there. The Dewdrop Springs are beautiful. You can actually hear it before you see it. It's an area where the water is clear, fresh, and bubbles from the underground aquifers, forming a series of small, interconnected pools and waterfalls. The water here is it actually has a little bit of a scent to it, but it's kind of pleasant, which was probably a little shocking. It's like a floral scent, which you wouldn't expect from water, especially fresh springs, but it does. And it seems very inviting. And there's also a small scientific outpost here as well, and that you can explore. Also, like if anything that's kind of connected to the aquifers and the irrigation system is probably located in there.
Perlock looks over at the springs. It's like, I'm no Zostrog, but I'm pretty certain this is where we gotta be.
I dare say.
And as you approach the building, the doors are locked. Now, Perlock, you've opened a few of these already, and so I'm not going to make you roll. You just kind of know what to do now. But there is one slight problem.
How much damage do I take?
Oh, the damage. No. The problem is the door seems to be barricaded from the inside.
So, with this sweet Gundam armor, my son was so happy to ship through the Bloody Express, if you will. I try out my fingertips for the first time ever as I try pushing.
Okay.
I'm assuming an athletics check or just a strength check or...
Yeah, I'm thinking athletics to kind of force your way in.
Okay. So I think all my good rolls are with Perlock and all my shit rolls are with Junior, because I'm rolling pretty okay here. So altogether, that's gonna be a 22.
Oh, nice. So you begin pushing, and you just hear things being scraping against the ground as things are being slid out of the way as you push the door open. And literally, as you kind of push the doors open, just two double doors, you can see the stuff just kind of falling away. Someone literally just piled up a bunch of stuff at the doors, barricading them.
I literally just look at the power armor and I'm like, yo, what was Sun holding out on me with? This is sweet shit. Fingers, I haven't fathomed. Guys, look, I have 10 tentacles now. It's like I'm doing this to them.
And with that, you kind of hear several screams from within of fear as you kind of force your way in.
Oh, this sounds like Bloody Mary's territory now.
I'll slither on in.
Then he just looks at her like, what? She's all oogity and boogity.
Add fear to the fear.
What's inside?
So inside there are three figures huddling, kind of together. They're wearing dirty lab coats because it seems like they've been in here for a little while. There is a woman and a man and another person who can't really tell because they themselves kind of look like a little Trent.
That screaming. Is there a good reason for it?
Oh.
I smile.
I thought the plants were getting in, but now I'm not sure. It might be worse. What? What are you? Are you in league with the plant?
No.
Oh man.
Ordinarily, I would have such sights to show you, but the door's over there. You should probably get going. My
Out
friends will
there?
have questions.
Are you crazy?
A little. But I'm right about this.
They were snatching up the people and putting them in big pods.
That won't happen right now.
We barely made it in here alive.
Yes, and now you're screaming.
The plants are gone?
Oh, the plants are there. They're just not attacking anymore.
What happened?
We've been working on a cure. We've been trying to think of ways to spread it through the city faster. We actually need to be going quickly, otherwise people are going to end up with brain damage. So perhaps you could get with the going.
Oh, okay. Do you need our help?
Here, I'm going to like grab the one of indeterminate gender by the shoulders and steer them outside.
That's the one that's a tree that looks like a tree, basically.
They're fine. I assumed you would have questions.
And then they kind of look at the rest of you, and even the tree is wearing a lab coat, by the way, of course. But even like the man and the woman, they seem to have their aesthetic is, they basically look like humans, but the coloration is more like flowers and plants, and the hair on the woman is literally petals of a flower, and the man, it looks like kind of like leaves just laying down on top of his head, like big fronds, and they're kind of like inching their way out. So it's safe. None of the are gonna snatch us up.
Not to my knowledge, darling.
And they're like in the doorway, kind of like talking to Bloody Mary and the people that are outside at the same time. They look very skittish and like they don't know what to do.
Would any of you like a hug?
You do not want a hug.
The tree kind of raises one of his branches. I would kind of like a hug.
Herbie gives him a hug.
Oh no. How much damage does he take?
Let's see. Oh goodness. Oh, that's 14 base. Plus.
Oh no.
Oh wait, I lied. No, it was only 7 base because it's 1. I was thinking of Dante's fire thing. So that's 1. Nope, it is 2. I lied. So 14 plus 4, 18. So 18. 18 hug damage.
Oh my god. I think you just made splinters.
Oops. I guess he wasn't special enough.
You just hear that, like, literally, like, if you've ever heard a tree fall from being cut, that crack, that splintering sound that happens before it goes over, you hear that before it goes over when you release him from the hug.
I don't think this is going to help with negotiations.
Oh my god, what did you do to little Trent?
I gave him a hug.
I told you didn't want a hug.
You crushed him. And at that, they try to flee now because they're terrified.
I mean, at least they're not hanging out here.
I imagine they're like, the trees were better. The plants were better. Oh man.
You hear the death rattle from within inside the tree.
I'm going back to the other side of the mirror now.
Yeah, so you find plenty of reflective surfaces here because all of this water. And the research facility is now open to you.
I never give good hugs, do I, Sigh?
Maybe you should stop trying to hug people. Maybe you should find another way to express your affection, man.
But that's not in my programming.
You know what? I bet there's lots of things you do that aren't in your programming.
I never thought of that. And there's like this distant stare.
Stop murdering people with your affection. Find another way to express that. It'll be fine. Pat, pat.
But what about the phrase, you love somebody to death?
Not meant to be taken literally, as it turns out.
Oh. That's sad. And he wants to try to, like, scoop up, like, trying to fix the Trant to looking like a normal, like how he was. Maybe he'll grow back.
Kind of just looks like a deadfall now. So in here, it's a much smaller version of the Green Lab. There's only a couple rooms. There's an office. There's a lounge, like break area. And then there's what looks to be like a control room. And you see from here is where they actually control the flow of the water to make it rain, or also send it to other parts of the city. Basically they basically have plumbing, and it all stems from here. So how do you want to go about trying to get it to rain?
I mean, I'm assuming there's a sprinkler system, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a sprinkler system, yes. But you're in a control room with lots of switches and knobs.
Or let's take a quick look fast. How many science folk we have here?
The one that's dead and 2 ran away.
Now I ask within our party.
I mean, Dante's really fast. You could probably catch one of the fleeing scientists.
That might be morally questionable for a superhero, but that's just my 2 cents. I have no problem with it, but you tell me what Dante feels like.
Dante will look at you and just kind of like, what? Like, Herbie traumatized them. Let them go.
Yeah, but a lot more people will die if someone's not here to help us out.
Crunch, can you do it?
I can certainly try.
Crunch is great with machines.
Great.
Would that be mechanics or would that be science?
I think it'd be mechanics to kind of figure out the controls. And you can take a +2 because Pete and George will help you.
Okay. So that makes it a 15.
Okay. So a little bit tinkering, flicking some switches, and you kind of have it figured out. There's a filtration system there, so you're thinking maybe if you insert the antidote into the filtration system itself directly. Instead of filtrating stuff out, you're filtrating it in, and that'll it'll then get into the into all the sprinklers, all the water system, and when you make it rain in here, that should cover the bulk of the city. All the pods that you saw were hanging high up for the most part, which would bring them closer to where the water would be coming from anyway.
Okay, cool.
So, who's where?
Zastrog is with Vibrance, and Crunch is with everybody else, trying to finagle.
Okay, so you do it, and you're pretty sure it is probably raining, or going to start raining. And within a couple moments, you do hear the sound of rain falling and hitting the roof of this building. So the water part definitely seems to be working.
So did we into the water and mix it up?
Yeah, like when you were looking at it, like here's the filtration system, you kind of just insert it there, and then let it go.
Okay, so are there any effects to what's happening, or
how are you going to try and see what's going? Because right now you're all in buildings.
Is there a plant terminal around?
Yeah, like the communication system.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, in here they have a direct line right to the green lab.
Okay,
in addition to like the one you saw where it went kind of like all over the place.
So definitely phone a friend, if you will.
Okay.
And see who's on the other line.
Verta answers once again. She basically handles all the systems for the green lab.
Yes. Please write a story, please. Thank you.
Would you like to speak to the one the one that was in the power armor?
Yeah. No. Is Zastrog there by any chance? Someone who's smart.
Zastrog is here. Zastrog is talking to Vibrance. You've never heard. I don't think you've heard that name before, so.
Huh. Well, I'm Vibrant. I look over to Dante and got Doug's name side. Like, hey, Vibrant's name ring a bell?
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Yeah, okay. Well, pretty sure they have a vibrant personality. But, alright, my son's gonna talk a lot of dumb stuff. Someone else should intercept for
Yeah. Well, after a while, Zastrog, Verta calls to you and says, the communication system, we've heard from the outpost, the research outpost, and it is one of your friends.
All right, I'll talk to them. I'll pick up the phone and yeah, what's going on?
As you pick up the phone, you're just overhearing, yeah, my son's an idiot, like maybe someone else should talk in case he answers again. As Perlock's already passing off the phone to somebody.
Hmm.
So who on our side? Would the Hugosaurus like to give it a shot?
Well, hey there, Zastrog, how's it going?
Hello, Herbie. What's going on? What do you need?
I'm very sad. I need a hug. I gave a hug and it turned out very badly.
Well, you know that happens sometimes.
I know. Sai said I should find other ways to express my affection.
That's a good thought.
Another thing.
Maybe I
Another
can hit
thing.
things like Sai does.
Well, hitting things is not a way to positively show your affection towards something.
Oh, it's not?
No, like hitting or killing, that's aggression. That's how you show anger.
Oh. Well, I thought hugs were the way you show affection, but it doesn't work out for me.
Well, it's because you hug too hard sometimes.
I know, I need to fix that in my programming.
So, did you need my help with something?
It's raining. Sai, why do we care that it's raining?
Well, the rain was supposed to help open up the pods and release the people.
And Herbie will, like, toddle over and hand the phone to Sai. I'm bad at talking.
I love how we're just passing the phone
Okay,
around like a
okay,
bunch
what do
of
we need to do?
nerds. Like, what?
It feels like a family gathering back in the day, and someone making calls in.
Yep.
Is Verta still on the line?
Yeah, she kind of is like the line. Yeah.
Verta, can you sense or see outside?
I cannot. I've been trapped in this room ever since Vibrance has taken over. Vibrance has locked me in here.
Wow. Well, someone needs to go outside and look. Do you guys want me to do that? Do you want me to ask Vibrance if she senses or they sense that the pods are opening? Like, why are we calling me?
I will get up and go outside and look.
You go outside, and what you see is pods all over are kind of descending from above towards the ground on the vines, like they're just being lowered down. And as they do, they're almost like deflating, and people are just kind of like oozing out of them.
Guys, the pods are dropping.
Oh, to hell with it. Let me take it. Zostrog, the pods are opening. Repeat, the pods are opening. We did a good job. I don't know why we keep calling you.
I don't know either.
We like you, buddy. You hear from the back.
I like you too, Prologue. All right, I'm going to continue talking to Vibrance and make sure that they're okay.
Who is Vibrance?
Oh.
Can you please tell me this? We just heard Vibrance and Vibrant Personality, and then Herbie took the phone and was being Herbie.
That's your new girlfriend.
Well, the sentient plant that is the core of the city was never given a name, so I offered up Vibrance because they are very vibrant, and vibrant can also express, color, attitude, intelligence. I thought it very fitting for the individual in question.
Oh, and Dante thinks he's covering up the receiver, but he's not. And he turns to Sai, and so you can hear on the line, I think Zostrog has a significant other now, and it may or may not be the entire plant network. I didn't know that he was poly.
Oh my god, I support them.
All right, well, let me not keep you from your significant other plural, maybe. And we'll meet you over there where we can meet your many new acquaintances. And hangs up.
Zostrog is just shaking his head.
And then just like Dante will catch Mary in a glimpse of a reflective surface and say, "I did not expect this to be the tea today."
I'm never expecting the tea to come from Zostrog, so whenever it does, it's great.
Zostrog has webs.
Yes, Perlock. Yes, he does.
So, Vibrance, as you guys have been communicating through the machine that you built, Verda begins to be able to kind of decipher what you did and replicate it. So she's also able to communicate with Vibrance and yourself.
Okay.
And she has Vibrance. Can you let me out of this room? I know you've kept me locked down here with you so that I couldn't interfere, but since we seem to be at a truce now, may I have access again? So Vibrance then turns to Zostrog. Should I give Verda access?
Well, I mean, that would be a kind thing to do. You don't want to, you don't want to be trapped or to have something, locked up, and that is essentially what has happened with Verda.
Yes, that is true, but I did not want Verda to stop me from what I was doing.
Sure, I completely understand, but we now have moved beyond, that particular situation, right?
I think you may be correct. All right, Verda, you may have access to the rest of the facility again. I am sorry. Besides, you seem more like me than them anyway.
A little bit more rational.
And Verda kind of, after she gains access, she doesn't go anywhere. She's still there, but now she can kind of has a wider range of her senses. It will be a while before everyone is back up and able, but it seems that most of them will recover, from what I can tell. They're probably just going to need a couple of days to rest to recover, depending how far along they were in their gestation period. Perhaps you and your friends could help a little bit more by kind of gathering them together and making them comfortable.
I can absolutely do that. And I'll ask Verda. Go ahead.
I can monitor all the systems that I normally do, as well as keep Vibrance company and continue the negotiations.
Well, so I imagine, Verda was, paying attention, but I just, kind of make sure she's aware of, like, what was discussed and what have you, and, bid them both adieu and play catch up to my allies, my friends.
So the rain continues for about a half an hour, and then it stops. Now that Verda has more control of more systems, she's kind of managing things, and so that there isn't an excessive amount of water and other damage isn't done to the city or the Desinans. She cuts it off after she believes it's sufficient enough to accomplish what you guys were looking for. But yeah, you know, you do find like some people that appear to have been less further along in the period, so they recover quicker and they're able to help. And you do actually find some people did manage to escape, but they were trapped and hidden away. And so once they figure things out, they start coming out. So there's more people to kind of help. And they're able to take everyone and kind of put them to bed and make them comfortable. Among those that got potted, definitely were the I got notes somewhere. That's not the right notes. The Verdant Vale villains, and tragically, you do learn that several members of the team were the ones that got mutated into plant creatures.
They still gonna play?
Well, it's Mutant Mayhemball.
As
technically
as
still
things
viable.
go on, the ones that did not get mutated into monsters and then killed are going to be recovering. They're not going to be able to play. They're going to have to forfeit. So you guys win via forfeiture. So that is your third win of the season. You're here kind of for like a couple days helping out and getting things together when the caravans start arriving. The fans that were coming to watch the game, and it's also grown a bit more. There are even more fans. Your caravan has grown to like 3 more mini buses as your fame has grown. But not only that, you guys receive some shocking news.
Shocking news, huh?
Shocking news as Triple Q, Quincy the Quill Quigley, arrives on the scene in her usual kind of blazer and skirt with her perfectly manicured fingers that are webbed, as well as her immaculate hedgehog spines that lay down her back perfectly. She approaches you guys and kind of like shoves the microphone in Sai's face. How does it feel to know you guys, your first season out, the Jacksonville Rowdy Jacks, or the Razorville Rowdy Jacks 45, are now going to the championship game? You've been undefeated, and also for reasons, several of the other teams are no longer able to compete. The season looks like it's going to be a little bit shorter than was intended, but all that to say is you guys have a real shot at the championship.
Huh. Well, yeah, that's great to know. We'll need to bust ass even harder on the way there, right, guys? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And because your team is undefeated, you will be playing the final game as a home game at Razorville.
As well it should be.
Is there anyone in particular that you're hoping will be there to see you play?
Well, Dante kind of steps forward. There was this bartender in the last city, and he needed to realize that his former crush was not hot stuff. And then Herbie just kind of like shoves him out of the way and is like, I hope all of the children are there.
um, keeping short until the Prologue will present her a mouse, but he's still in the mech suit, so he's like, you know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
mouse, and then like literally, I don't know if we're gonna receive damage for this, but like, they're gonna Prologue Junior and Senior both gonna like, nuzzle in her leg, like, yeah.
The leg is fine as long as you stay away from the hair.
Excellent. Like, yeah. It's gonna be a good game.
Yeah. Now, if you were a mutated honey badger, then you could get away with that just fine. I mean, it would still hurt and you'd still take damage, but honey badgers don't care.
Yeah.
So, I know you guys just got here a few days ago, and apparently, you guys have kind of really saved the city of the Verdant Vale. How does that feel? You guys set out to be a successful sports team, athletic club, but as the folks tell you, you're actually heroes.
Well, sometimes you just have to, do what's right.
Yeah. I mean, we couldn't take a bye, so we did our best. We ended up taking a bye anyway, but hey, at least we can say
we didn't take the bye. I mean, we were looking to rescue the town so that we had a match to play, but unfortunately, the other team can't play. So
now that is dedication to the sport. Let me tell you. Well, perhaps next season, they will be recovered and be able to make it on the field. I was really looking forward to watching the Verdant Vale villains square off against the Rowdy Razorville Jacks 45s. That would have been a thing for sure.
Well, like you said, maybe next year. Maybe the changes that are gonna take place here in the Verdant Vale will help grow a new team.
Yeah.
Must be all like, ha 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 ha.
If this was like a TV show, like this is where everybody like just starts laughing as a single group, and the audience is just left like, that was like actually a little dark.
You the laugh track, ha ha.
So I hear tonight there's going to be a small celebration in the honor of your well, I guess there's no victory to celebrate, but the celebration of the town triumphing over, I don't know exactly what we're calling this. It sounds like maybe a misunderstanding.
How about just a celebration of life?
And then you hear someone sob from the back, except for little Trent.
Herbie's entire posture just like, oh.
He deflates.
Yeah.
Well, it can still be a celebration of life. The celebration of the living that are around and the lives of those who have been lost in the miscommunications.
Yeah, so the celebration is actually going to be held at the place where you guys were supposed to be staying before, which is a tavern and the inn called the Echoing Orchid. And it's kind of like the cultural hub where residents and travelers like come to share stories, relax, and enjoy the unique offerings of the dome. It's nestled amidst a grove of bioluminescent orchids and winding vines. The Echoing Orchid is built primarily from living wood. Its structures grown and shaped through careful botanical manipulation rather than constructed. The walls and ceilings are interlaced with glowing flora casting a soft light that illuminates the interior with natural soothing colors. The air inside is always fresh with a hint of floral fragrance, adding to the establishment's enchanting ambiance.
I'm just like, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm just picturing one of those like tropical resort type places where there's like lights everywhere and the plants, and it's like really, really pretty at night.
It is very much like that. And you know, kind of like as you come in, you're greeted. You can see like there's like a drink menu that's up and posted. You know, the bar boasts a bunch of alcoholic beverages that are fermented from nectars of mutant flowers unique to the Verdant Vale. Each drink not only varies in flavor and color, but also offers a mild psychoactive effect, such as heightened senses or calming presence. Two of the most popular drinks are Glimmer Grog, a sparkling drink that enhances night vision, and Whisper Wine, a subtle brew that facilitates communication between those who share it, enhancing empathy.
How's
And you're kind of given like a tour of the place. You got the Canopy Lounge where there's like a bunch of swinging platforms and seats, as well as hammocks where people can kind of just chill out, relax, and drink and eat. There's live music going on tonight, but you can see like they have like a board of listings of things that go on kind of like throughout the month. And they have, you know, things like poetry readings, storytelling nights, and, you know, different artists that come in and do their thing. You're shown the Looming Garden, which is the smallest garden behind the tavern, where many of the ingredients of the kitchen or bar are grown. You know, you get to go through and see like, hey, this is where the stuff comes from that they make your food and drink from. And many of the dishes are made with edible flowers.
So, you know, I'll make sure, like, you know, it's communicated that, like, hey, you guys, you know, grow and make a lot of things, but there might be some changes that are coming, because, you know, maybe the new controller of the city might not like that as much. So
everything's shifting to a carnivore diet.
Does this place have
vegans?
Yeah.
Does this place have any kind of like karaoke or any of that kind of stuff?
Well, right now they have live music going on, so I mean, you can probably try and get up there and do your thing. You guys are offered rooms, and the Echo and Orchid, and of course, they offer you any rooms you want. But yeah, each of the rooms are kind of crafted within the boughs of the giant trees and accessible via vine ladders or rope bridges. The roofs have transparent ceilings made from woven branches, allowing guests to fall asleep under the soft glow of the bioluminescent plants. They also have some specialty rooms that are kind of themed according to natural environment. Some have nestled near waterfalls, others are surrounded with floral vines, each offering a unique experience. You know, there's definitely a romance package that can be purchased. The Echoing Chamber is something else they offer, and basically they're just private meeting rooms that are set up in specially structured wooden rooms that basically don't allow sound to leave them. So perfect for business dealings, diplomatic talks, or, you know, maybe something less scrupulous.
And so Dante's gonna look at Sai and be like, I wonder if Zostrog is going to be able to fit his new significant other in this room, or if the significant other is going to have to be the room. And is that extremely intimate?
I think that we could just bring like a cutting in with us and maybe it could like ping the signal back? I don't know how plants work.
Yeah, it's all quite fascinating. What are your thoughts, Perlock?
I think they need better milk.
It's
Plant-based.
it's literally plant-based milk.
It's
They
terrible.
they only have almond milk. That's it.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh,
Perlock's in hell.
like, sooner we get
They
out of here,
don't.
the
They don't have
better.
coconut milk or oat milk. Only almond.
Man. Perlock's not having a good night. He's like, man.
Only almond. They haven't figured out how to grow coconuts yet.
Oh. And how do they have somebody to make the fake horse noise?
Dante's absolutely going to arrange for Zostrog to get the romance room. And then
I'd love to know. I'd love to know where you got this whole idea that there's romance.
because of Verdant, or what is it? Not Verdant. Vibrance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dante will then give you the key and just wink and say, "Hope you have a good time."
So it turns out Vin Ivy is the agile, charismatic owner of the Echoing Orchid, famous for creating exotic brews. But a lot of you know her for another reason. She has green skin with flower petal hairs, shades of purple, and you had taken her to your bus. She was the first one you retrieved from one of the pods. Her recovery was a little bit rougher than the rest of the folks because hers was much more. Her extraction was far more violent than the rest of them. But she insists on being here and overseeing things, and gosh darn it, she's gonna make sure Zastra gets that romance package on the house.
So Dante, as you present him with the key, what on earth do you think is happening?
Well, you and Vibrance, of course.
Why do you think that?
And then he looks to Sai and says, "I thought it was obvious."
Yeah, dude, we all thought it was obvious.
Because I communicated with a plant and gave it a name? Because I tried to keep the plant calm while you went and removed all of the people from the pods so that they didn't overreact to the possible, transformation stopping?
But because the name you picked was Vibrance.
I picked a name that went with the aesthetic of both something intelligent and something natural.
I thought it was because you were speaking so much and you seemed very intent on getting back to Vibrance while we were on the phone.
I just didn't want, if there was going to be a problem, I wanted there to be a distraction.
Oh, I see. A distraction.
I don't even know anything about them to, have any actual connection yet. And I wouldn't know whether there would be a physical compatibility, even if there were some kind of connection.
Oh.
Jeez.
You're a little that's interesting. Your attractions work differently from how I expected they did. And now I'm just fascinated because I've heard that spiders work one way, but I don't want to presume that just because you resemble a spider folk, the spider folk resemble spiders, that they're the same. Just like how I'm not necessarily the same as a monkey or a demon. But, it's interesting. Sai, thoughts? Like, Dante's clearly putting his foot in his mouth.
You've gone way off the rails, my friend.
Well, what are you getting at with the correlation of spiders?
Well, I just hope you don't get eaten.
I'm gonna just sure. Grab Dante and remove him from the room. Sorry. I carry him out.
And I guess Herbie will go to Crunch and say, can you help me with something?
What help do you need?
I need to change my programming.
Well, you have sentience. Technically, if you wish to alter your programming, it is a choice of will.
So how do I do it?
Well, what is it that you wish to change?
I don't want to hug with just an on-off. I want to have my danger hugs, but I also want to have, nice hugs.
Well, then what you can do is you can practice on things that you don't care about and just begin dialing it back.
Okay.
Just as if, I'll reach down and I will just kind of lightly tap, the table or the bar, whatever it is that I'm, close to. Look, this doesn't hurt the table, but if I were to so choose, I could probably dent or break a portion of this with a bit of effort. Just like when you choose to walk, you're not putting all of your strength into every step. You are just merely gliding across the floor. Correct?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So the same application just needs to be done to your hugs. So that if you're going to hug a friend, a child, someone you do not wish to hurt, you just make physical contact, but not apply strength.
Okay. And he will try to hug something nearby. I don't know if it works.
You can hug Crunch.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so he very hesitantly goes up and he musters all of his trying to temper his affections.
So Crunch is gonna walk you through the process. He'll hold out his arms, go ahead like this.
Okay.
You step up to him. Now slowly bring your arms in until your wrists touch.
Okay.
Now bring it in slowly with just a tiny bit of pressure so that you make contact with my back without trying to crush me.
Okay. And he's going to do it. I'm rolling a die just to see if he succeeds. Okay, I rolled pretty good. So he goes in and he hugs gently, and then he stops hugging and he pats you on the back. He goes, "It's a miracle!"
One of you make a perception check, or both.
Okay. Oh, that's 15 base plus.
Oh. That's gonna be a 19.
Mine is an 18.
Okay, so both of you are alerted to the fact that someone is lurking nearby, watching this interaction, and like when the hug happens, there's a gasp, and you both recognize the woman in the dirty lab coat from the research outpost, and she's like, "Did it on purpose," and she runs off.
So this woman apparently only saw the hug, didn't hear any of the dialogue that was clearly coaching him how to do it without hurting.
Well, no, because she kind of was standing off in a way, like trying to hide from you guys, and like clearly spying on Herbie.
Okay, all right, whatever.
And it's kind of like a noisy tavern.
Sure. Oh, that's gonna be a problem eventually.
I didn't do it on purpose.
I know you didn't. And that's why we're going through these lessons. Now it's going to take practice. As with any machine that has its core programming, there are going to be times where you might be in a hurry, or your emotions might be getting better of you, and you feel that you default to what you're used to doing. But over time, you'll be able to control it and be able to do as intended each time.
That's what's hard. I think my programming makes all of my emotions the most extreme. So when I feel that affection, I just want to squeeze until they pop.
I surely understand that. But you have to learn to control it.
Yeah, that's hard.
That'll be funny if, like, the person spying only hears, "I would like to squeeze them until they pop." Like, I freaking knew it! I knew it! The monster!
So Crunch is going to go try and locate this woman.
Okay, so you're gonna go after her. All right.
Yep.
Carlos, Perlock is approached by two individuals. One is one of the servers, and the other is a elderly looking man dressed like he's ready to go out on safari, with a droopy mustache and heavy eyelids. And she says, "Hey, this is Pollen Pax. He's our local beekeeper. He makes some of the best honey. Some even say it has magical properties. But I got him to give me some of his honey, and I've added a little something to it because I saw how disappointed you were with our almond milk. Maybe you would like to try this." And it smells really sweet, but it also has like a bit of a minty odor to it as well.
So, I continuously sniff it, look at them.
It
sniff
smells
again,
really good.
and I say, "Okay, you can put it in my bowl now. Get it out of the cup in my bowl."
And it takes a while because it's honey. It's just like this blob is like,
Don't spill it. Don't miss a drop. Okay. And I'm like, eventually.
and I imagine like Perlock begins salivating because it just smells so good.
Mm-hmm. Like, literally, I'm like, mm, interesting, interesting. I don't think
Yeah,
I.
it's honey infused with catnip.
That's the stuff my son told me about. Yeah, I heard it's pretty good. Literally, one paw full. You know. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is the good stuff. This is the good stuff. And, do I take -2s everything for the next 10 minutes? Because that's what we got.
Not right now. You don't have to.
Okay, great.
Not yet. I don't know that you're gonna need to roll. Besides, that would attack your fortitude anyway. That's only an 11 against your fortitude.
Oh, I willingly fail.
Oh.
If that's the case, then I'll beat it, but like,
Yeah.
I willingly fail.
All right. You're embracing the catnip. It doesn't take long before Perlock Jr. takes note of what's going on, and I imagine he's gonna be drawn to the honey.
Yeah, it's like all the cats in the area, like gathering around. He's looking it all up and whatnot.
All right, Crunch. You're chasing down the researcher. What do you
Yes.
how you gonna proceed?
Well, I mean, I saw them, leave in the lab coat. So I want to, I said my quick words to Herbie, and then I'm gonna, follow after. So I imagine, like, if I exit the bar and I can see them, I'm gonna, follow, and if not, I'm gonna try and see if I can follow a trail, maybe. I don't know.
No, you're able to catch up to them. What do you want to do?
Excuse me. I wanted to have a brief word with you, if you don't mind.
She looks very nervous, very scared. You can see there's a name tag on her lab coat. It says Agnes Appleton. She's petite with silvery hair. And watery blue eyes.
So, hello, Agnes. I'm generally referred to as Crunch, as part of the traveling team, and I noticed, your reaction. I'm guessing you didn't see everything that was transpiring between myself and Herbie, and I wanted to clear things up, because I believe you, like I said, did not observe everything correctly.
I mean, I feel like I saw enough. He broke little Trent in half.
And what you saw was me coaching Herbie how to actually hug without hurting.
Why would
That's the
someone?
first time. That is the first time he's ever done it.
Why would someone even need to know that? Like, what's
Why
wrong
would he
with
need
him?
to-
Is he some kind of
you-
sociopath?
You know how this whole world came to be, right? There's lots of folk out there that aren't 100% right. Herbie cares a lot for a lot of people and likes to make people happy, but he's overly emotional, and literally up until just a moment ago, he was not able to control his hugs. And we've been trying to work with him so that he doesn't react that way. And you seem very concerned, and I would hate for you to be spreading falsehoods about someone who cares so much and is bothered by the events that he has no control over.
Make an insight check.
Insight. 18.
She definitely thinks you just threatened her.
I'm not trying to threaten you, ma'am. I'm trying to convince you that you did not witness the whole scene, or you would not have reacted the way you did.
I saw him just murder little Trent in cold blood. He broke him in half like he was a twig.
And that sucks. But it wasn't murder.
I don't know. I think the sheriff would think differently. But you guys are big damn heroes and you saved the town, so you'll probably just get away with it. Everyone will just forget little Trent was even here.
Yeah. I guarantee you, Herbie's never gonna forget what happened. He is bothered by it more than you are. Herbie was created to spread joy, and when his world entered into this one, some things didn't go right. It makes him a damn fine ball player, but makes living life far more challenging than it should be.
Well, he is dangerous and people should know.
Well, I was there, and Sai said, "You don't want a hug." And
no, that's what the scary woman said.
Hmm?
That's what the scary woman said.
It was Mary.
I was Mary. Oh, sorry, my apologies. Mary said you didn't want a hug, and they didn't listen.
Yeah, but she was really scary and horrific.
Well, scary and horrific is part of our team, unfortunately.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't think there's anything I can really do. And she's just kind of like, yeah, you can see like it's like a dam burst and like tears are just like silently rolling down her face. She kind of just shrugs her shoulders and shoves her hands into her pockets, kind of hunched over, and walks away defeated.
Crunch will just kind of sigh, and he'll just kind of walk back.
So as you return to the celebration, you find Perlock and Perlock Jr. getting wrecked on honey. What is Sai doing?
Probably studying the home field. I've got like the book open and like my energy drink, and I've got like my little schedule here.
Nice. Captaining. And what is Herbie doing as they revel in their new revelation of maybe they can hug without hurting?
So he probably runs up to Sai first and gives Sai a hug, and then and is like, "Crunch taught me how to do it right."
Oh, that's great, Herbie.
And then he'll see Crunch and how Crunch looks defeated, and he'll be like, "I think I made Crunch sad." And he'll go up and he'll say, "Crunch, are you sad?"
So as Crunch returns, I am not sad. There was a woman who saw that you were able to hug me and thinks that you murdered Trent.
Oh. I didn't try to.
And that is what I told her, but she's not going to believe me.
That does make me sad.
We're never going to please everyone in this world.
No.
Especially after you murder their friends.
You know, Crunch, that's why I play ball with you guys. Because when I got here, I couldn't hug anybody. And everything was sad, and nobody was special, and everybody kept dying, and I kept telling myself they weren't special, but I think it was me that wasn't special. And then you guys needed my danger hugs. And they helped. And so I felt like I belonged somewhere again. But now I'm sad again because you're sad. And she's sad.
I'm not sad. I'm frustrated that she's not willing to see the logic. I don't tend to get very emotional. It is it's not practical.
No. But not everything has to be. And then he'll go in and give you another hug.
and with you guys bro hugging it out, I think that's where we'll wrap things up for tonight. We have 2 more sessions left, with the finale coming up for the championship game in the very near future. Come back here Friday night. I believe Old Guard will be going on, where you can come hang out with Carlos, Robin, and Ted and play some 5e D&D with some old dudes. And until next time, stay nerdy.